Hi, Neil. How are you?
Hi, all very well, thank you.
Good, good. Thank you for talking to us. I'll start by just reflecting on the weekend's game. How do you reflect on that a few days on now, that win over Middlesbrough?
Well, fabulous win, really. As I've said earlier, I thought they're one of the best teams in the league, and to go goal behind like we did, I didn't think we deserved to be a goal down at half time, but that's how it goes. We made mistakes and they punished us. But all credit to the lads coming back like they did. There were
What
no heads dropped at half time. They were all quite loud in the dressing room, etc. And it's nice to get your rewards when you're positive in the way they played.
what has that done for the mood around the club as well? I imagine there was a big shift, a big increase in mood after the Millwall result, and I imagine that's just increased again after that
Yeah,
result of the weekend.
yeah. I mean that's what winning does for you, really. It's just it lifts everybody, and the lads are no different, really. I think they knew that they played against a good side. We did at Millwall. I mean, not many people get the result like that, and they were quite disappointed we didn't finish Norwich off 3 games ago as well. So, but they also realised that we could lose the next two and be 6 points adrift on Monday night. So, we're not kidding ourselves. Two tough games coming up now with Watford and Blackburn.
Going forward, is it a case of keeping the players' feet on the ground, or more so riding the highs of those two wins?
No, I think managers you just move on, don't you? You move on and enjoy the victories, but it's so quick now, the next few weeks. Um, I think the way that the fixtures have gone now, we've got 4 out of 5 away from home. So it's just as well we've had a couple of wins because, we could have been out of sight by then. So we've just got to try and hang in there now, points wise, with the other clubs. And like I say, 2 games in 48 hours. It's difficult with the travelling as well, but just got to do it.
And on that relegation battle, there's another team involved now following Reading's points deduction. From your point of view, is it easier that there's another team involved in that, or does it make things even more complicated?
No, I mean, I just think it's another team's involved now. Simple as that. Yeah, I mean, it just added to the clubs that we've been around us all well since I've been here, anyhow.
Just an update on some of the injuries. Firstly, just how's Dwayne Holmes at the minute?
Yeah, Dwayne's going to be out for the season. I'm afraid now. I'm not quite. He's gone to see a specialist today, actually, um, and but there's quite a lot of damage done. He blocked a shot that was going across, and so he had a ligament damage. He had a tendon problem, and also I think he's got a little chip on his ankle as well. So he's got everything wrong, poor old lad. And he has done so well coming back to get fit, since I've been there. So it's a shame, but these things happen, and you've just got to be strong and mentally strong to get back into the reckoning next season.
How disappointing is it for both Dwayne himself and as well your squad? He looked really bright in those early stages at the weekend.
Yeah, I did, and I told him a couple of weeks ago that I would be playing him against Middlesbrough, and to get himself ready for that. And we've worked hard all the time since then, and had them practice match on the Tuesday beforehand, and everything went well. So it is disappointing, but that's how football is. I'm afraid you're up 1 minute, down the next, and he's going to have to do another rehabilitation and get himself back.
Just a couple of other players as well. Martin Waghorn first. Are you expecting him to be available this weekend?
Not really, no. I think it might be just a bit too soon. We thought he might be available for the Middlesbrough game, if I'm honest, but he just felt something as he was finishing training, and so I don't think it's one to rush him. I think over this weekend we might have to give him a miss and make sure he's right for the final 4 games, 5 games.
And Anthony Knockout as well. I know you said he was back in training last week. You
Yeah,
expecting
I
him to
mean,
be
he's
available?
not for Anthony. He's not. He's got one thing after another, really, and he has a little bit of a knock as well, and it's going to be difficult, I see, for me to get him involved between now and the end of the season because other lads are doing so well as well. So I'm not going to change things for the sake of it.
You said that you've got a squad of players that are playing well at the moment. Obviously, the Easter weekend can be intense at times with the fairly quick turnaround. Are you expecting to be rotating players between the Friday and the Monday?
I think you'll have no option really, but I don't think you can make a major decision until you see what happens on the Friday. Watford are a team. Really, I think everybody, if you'd have said a team before the season started, probably Watford would have been ahead of Burnley. I think that's how rated they were, and they've got some fabulous players. So, we're going to have to really be on our best form, really, to come away with something. And I think with them getting beat last weekend as well, it will make them even more determined to right things, and with the crowd as well. With it being a local derby. So we have got to start well and not go a goal down to a team like that, because they have got some super players.
And of course, you'll be sharing the touchline with Chris Wilder as well. How much are you looking forward to that?
No comment.
Okay. What have you made to Chris at Watford so far this season?
I haven't. I've just looked at Huddersfield. We've got enough problems at Huddersfield, so I've just concentrated on my team and my problems.
And just on Watford, then finally from me, what are you expecting them to throw at you in terms of, like you mentioned, they've got several big international players, a really good squad. What are you expecting them to throw at you?
Everything really. They're good passers. They've got pace in areas. The set pieces aren't bad. It's the typical top championship team really. And if we're not anywhere near, then we'll get turned over. So we have to really try and start the game well and as well as we can, and keep in it as long as we can. Because if they do punish you, quite easily they can do what Coventry did to us and Burnley. Are you with me? So I think we have to be really on our toes.
Brilliant. Best of luck, Neil. Thanks for your time.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, Jack. Stephen?
It up.
Hi Neil. Watford have been a bit Jekyll and Hyde this season, particularly recently. Does that change things for you at all?
Not really. I think they might say we are, up and down. I think everybody in the Championship's up and down, really, apart from Burnley. It's one of those things that they've got so many good players. When you look at the team sheet, you'll get the team sheet and you look at the names on the team sheet, and they are very, very good players. So, you've just got to hope as a manager that they don't all play really well together on Saturday, because if they do, they could be anybody. I think they've had good results against Burnley, or they look like they did, and teams like that, and I think they're quite capable of beating anybody on, especially at home.
Yeah, you look like you've got something of a settled side now, sort of 9 players at least who looks like you trust. Is that likely to be the case to the end of the season now, do you think?
Yeah, I don't see wavering too much. I mean, there might be the occasion that I feel somebody needs a rest. I should have rested Matty Pearson, for example, at West Brom before he gave the penalty away. So there might be somebody like that might need a rest with so many games, especially 2 games in 3 days. Are you with me? So, but we'll make a decision after the game, really, at Watford.
I think what Middlesbrough showed us after Millwall as well, 2 very different kinds of results and performances. It must be very encouraging to see that your team can win different types of games now. Yeah,
I think it even not came as a shock to the players themselves, but I think that the way that the manner in which they played the second half can only help the players' belief, really, and that's what confidence comes from. Confidence comes from belief.
You've integrated quite a few young players and B-team players, academy graduates into your side. 7 of them have had that you've fielded this season, given starts to this season. What do you make of the academy setup here now that you've been
to be fair, Stephen, I've not really had much chance. I've been, 15 hours a day on the first team, let alone the academy. All I can see from the outside is that it's well run and everybody, I know I had a chat obviously with Michael Tong, who's here helping. So it's everybody seems in good spirits. But it all boils down to the first team at the end of the day, doesn't it? Really, nobody wants to see us get relegated for obvious reasons. Really, expense wise, job wise, it's a lot of upheaval when you get relegated. So I think that's been my main concern, trying to stay up there and try and get a few results. And I know it's not going to be easy now. And I see this morning, we're still favourites to get relegated with the bookies. So, they don't give anything away, really, them lads. So, that we've got a problem, we have got a job on our hands still. But we are in the pack now. We're not adrift and having no hope. And I think if we'd have lost at Millwall and Middlesbrough, we could have gone home, really. So at least we're back in the pack now. And the lads have enjoyed training. If we could just get, a result or two this weekend, it'd be great.
That pack has grown as well. I think recently it looked like it was, Rotherham and Cardiff you're chasing down. You can now add QPR and Reading to that. Means you're sort of not reliant on one or two results. You're more possibility of catching something.
Yeah, there is. I mean, we've really done well with the games that we've had. And it's hard. It's almost cruel on us that we've got Watford and Blackburn Rovers now after having Millwall, Norwich, Millwall, and Middlesbrough. I think it must be punishment for us, really. But we have got that, whether we like it or not, and we've just got to try and do the best we can in those games.
You're quite cautious as well, aren't you? Not to let complacency seep in after two good results, as you say. You could easily end up sort of drift again.
Absolutely, yeah. And I don't think the lads. It's not a matter of complacency now, really. It's about the lads taking on board and not making elementary mistakes, really. When you look at the results that we have, that's cost us over the last couple of months since I've been here, most of them have been down to our bad mistakes and errors that we've given under no pressure, really. So we've got to eliminate that and give ourselves a chance of getting a result everywhere.
That's all for me. Thank you.
Thanks, Stephen.
Leon. Hello, Neil. Okay.
Hey,
I was just sort of wondering, there's all this talk about Reading 6 points and QPR in really bad form, blah, blah, blah. You've got to have no distractions, haven't you? It's all about Huddersfield Town. You've got to sort of blank out what's happening elsewhere, really, haven't you, almost?
Yeah, especially with the games we've got, Leon. Like I just said, to have the three without, to have Norwich, Millwall away and then Middlesbrough, followed by Watford away and Blackburn. I don't think you could pick 5 tougher games than that. So we just we've got to hang in there, really, and hope that the other teams don't get away from us. We want 1 or 2 other clubs to do us a favour now.
Yeah, it's almost like if you're in the Premier League and you're battling loads of big teams there, almost, isn't it? I know you're not, but it's sort of similar, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, it is. It is, and the same sort of principle, really.
Yeah. What do you say about Watford? Then, I mean, they were obviously tipped to be up there at the start of the season. It's not panned out in the way they probably imagined.
Well, I think it's probably one of the, if not the biggest surprise of the Championship that they're not up there. As you look at, I mean, I've looked at their team this morning, and I mean, on paper, it's as good as any team in the league, really. So, but I haven't gone into it in detail yet. But I'll be doing that later on this afternoon. But I agree with you. I think if you pick 3 teams, it would have probably been Watford, Burnley, and Norwich.
Yeah.
And at the moment, there's only Burnley of the 3 that looks like they're guaranteed anyhow going up.
Yeah. I was going to ask you finally, when you've had a few good results, you go into training. Do you get on the top of players even more just to stop any sort of complacency, or do you just let the players, the senior lads, police it themselves? And
no, I mean, on the training ground this morning, it was excellent. I didn't have to do too much. I like, I make sure I referee these practice games that we have, so that nobody gets carried away. And I think that's all I've done all my career, really. I like the intensity, Leon. I don't like people shirking tattles in training, let alone a match day. And it's been very good, as you expect, with getting the results that we've had. The training's been excellent, and I think that that any level of football, when you've got 2 or 3 good results, you'll find that happens, doesn't it?
Yeah, of course. And just I meant to say the fans as well. They really re-engaged on Saturday, and it's like everything came together again, didn't it? Really, and that you're gonna have to harness that.
I've not heard the fans like that since I was here first time. Really,
Yeah,
I think that's the first time I've. I mean, it's a fabulous arena but I think it's down to the players to get the fans going like that.
Yeah.
You know, it was. I can't see many people at half time thinking what they were going to happen in the second half. But when it does start to happen, they got on board, and all credit to them. It was a fabulous atmosphere, and they got the rewards really.
Yeah. Best of luck, Neil, as ever. Thank you.
Thanks, Liam.